What's up, everybody? Next part of our FIBO evaluating how we did in the preseason. Me and Nick. This one was with me and Katrina because Nick was sick. So it'll be a lot more of me. And honestly, kind of the best case scenario because this was the Prague Lions and I did really fucking well on this one. Let me know what you think. Also, like the videos, man. I used to think that people who said liking the videos would do a lot. It actually does do a crazy amount. So go do that. Made a playlist of all of these that we've done so far. Members get these a day early. Got a couple queued up already. Much appreciated. That being said, let's get into the Prague Lions.
The big key departure, which a lot of people are talking about, is Alexander Borkovic, safety from Serbia. He's been there for a while, so he was kind of like their adopted son, honestly, in that city. And it was a lot of people were really worried about missing him, and understandably so. He's a hard hitter, one of only, I believe, 7 players to get 100 tackles this year. He is a great box player, can play in a nickel as well as safety. It's a big loss, and to lose him to the Enthroners is tough because that's a rival team. So they do need to overcome that. I think they've got in some interesting players that are going to be able to fulfill that role, but that is a big key departure that they're going to miss.
So that was true. Borkovic got Homegrown Player of the Year, was one of the best safety / linebackers in the entire league, and was an all-star, as I correctly predicted in this video in the preseason as well. But he's now back at Prague, which is interesting. We don't know what the league structure is going to look like next year, to be honest, but Alexander Borkovic is back in Prague, so this one is quite funny. I talked about him being like the prodigal son of the city. He goes away for a year, gets even more accolades, and then comes back. So quite an interesting retrospective there.
They have a couple of really elite homegrowns. Radim Kalius, receiver, former IPP prospect, great athlete, coming into his prime now. Played with Vienna as well a couple of years ago. We weren't sure if we were going to get him back, but he locked in, and I think he's going to be really good number 2 next to someone we're going to talk about later. Jakub Smutny. I've been talking to everyone I can talk about. We just had Dennis Butts here. I was talking to him about Jakub Smutny. I think he'll be an all-star level player. And then Adam Zuleka, running back, he struggled with injuries. But he struggled with injuries and yards per carry because he hasn't had the offensive line. That's changed. They put a lot of investment in on the offensive line.
So unfortunately, Radim did get injured, so he wasn't able to fulfill as much. But actually, Matthias Bili was the second leading receiver in the Prague Lions, which is quite incredible. Like, he's a young guy. I think he's got a real good future, incredibly bright future for Matthias Bili. Adam Zuleka did incredible, and he was one of the best running backs in the league this year. He honestly could have led the league in rushing yards if he played that last game, but he was phenomenal. He looked so good this year, a true 3-down level back, and yeah, Adam had a real breakout year, and he nearly got 1,000 yards. He got 861 yards in total, 8 touchdowns, only 11 games, so he had a fantastic year. Adam, we're very happy with. And Jakub Smutny was, I don't want to say robbed of an all-star, but I do feel like he deserved all-star nominations. If I do make my all-pro team, Jakub Smutny will be in it. He was incredible all year, and I think he deserved more of his flowers. But he was incredible, and I went 2 for 1, but Radim was here, so tough one.
Ken Hike and Jalen Embry. Jalen Embry, he's your zonal guy. He's staring the quarterback down the whole way. He's come with Warner from Madrid to Prague. He's such a good ball playing defender. He's rocked up, like he's built like an outdoor, to use a British phrase, but he's so physical, so aggressive, such a good ball player, and he's going to be a big part of this. Opposite him, Ken Hike Jr., a former all-star in this league with the Helvetic Mercenaries, and went on to the Vikings, and now he's in Prague. He is so technically excellent. He's so aggressive on the line, so handsy in press coverage. He's your man cover corner. So you've got a great zone cover corner, you've got a great man cover corner. The American cannot go. So when they're playing these players, the Americans can't just move around the field, because wherever you go, left or right, X, Y, Z, wherever, they're going to have an American corner able to man coverage or sit in the zone, and that's going to be a big problem because both of these guys have all-star potential.
This one I absolutely smashed for half. Embry was hurt. Tough, can't really go around that one. He's injured pretty much a whole year, like he barely played at all, which is unfortunate because he is still a really great corner. But Ken Hike was excellent. I think he could have been a DPOY, like he was that good. He led the league in interceptions. He was just a true lockdown corner, probably the best corner in the league. Got first team all-star, and hard to argue with that really. He was exceptional. I think he was probably he had another one of his seasons. He had the same season when Masio got the DPOY, where he was opposite and was just incredible, but didn't quite get as many flowers as maybe you could have because Masio was so good. This one, same with Latoro, getting nominated for DPOY and Ken not. But like, they were both incredible. But yeah, Ken Hike was sublime this season as corner one.
Defensive line depth. I think this is one of their strongest positions. You can feel James Brooks' influence here. He's played with these guys for years. He's now going to be their DC. He knows exactly how every single one of these guys plays. He knows exactly how they are personality-wise. I really like Danik, I like Jan Stadi, and I like Jakub Platenik. That three, it's really talented.
That trio I just mentioned did do really, really well. Danik, he had like a big spur in like the middle of the season, cooled off at the end. Smuddy was good all year. Starry was good. I know he got hurt a little bit, but like that trio was exceptional. I was absolutely right. James Brooks did do phenomenal as his first year as DC. Do still feel like he should have won Assistant Coach of the Year, but he was great, and that defensive line was great. It was a big reason why they were so successful.
Again, I will be picking those for Nick, I am stepping in for. First week, we're at home against the Vienna Vikings. That's a tough one to start with, obviously, so Nick also called this as a loss.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Next one, home against the Hamburg Sea Devils. Also called this as a loss.
Okay, Nick. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Week 3, we have the Ferrava Thrones as an away game, which is also called as a loss by Nick.
Okay, Nick.
You might have some
Nick.
different opinions about that.
Mm-hmm.
Next week in Poland against the Panthers, also called as a loss.
Okay, Nick.
So we're not off to a good start. It's not getting better. I can spoil that already. We have a bye week, but then again the Hamburg Sea Devils, which we lose again. Next one, Frankfurt Galaxy in week 7, also a loss.
Okay.
How possible to you?
Well,
How do you
first of all,
think
Nick,
the remainder of the season is going for Prague?
Nick, I know where you live, so I'm gonna be very critical. That's brutal. 0-6.
That's rude.
I'm a little bit
Nick,
offended.
what are you doing?
I feel like Nick is he doubts my scout ability. Well, I'm a little bit offended. All right,
Yeah.
let's get into my 6 and try and rescue the Prague season. Vienna, it's just I'm not crazy. I think they're going to lose this one to Vienna Vikings. That's a tough one. 0-7 currently. People are going to take this out of context. See my face in 0-7. Nick, this is all your fault. I've got to try and do this. The Enthroners. No, we're not. We're going to the Panthers first. My bad, Lucas. My fault. Panthers, they're going to get the W there. Their first of the year. I think they can compete with the Panthers, really compete with them this season. Maybe even overcome them twice. But the Enthroners, it's going to be another win. They're going to pick up a little bit of steam here. They're going to go against the Mercenaries, and they're going to pick up another win. They got 3 on the bounce, a little bit of momentum. Galaxy, it's a tough one. I think they'll probably lose that one. But then they do the double over the Mercenaries. I've tried to rescue their season. I've given them 4 wins, Nick's given them
0 wins.
0 wins.
Yeah, 0 wins actually. So according to your picks combined, we finished off with a 4-8 season, which
Honestly,
I think you see it more optimistic. You see Prague performing much better than a 4-8, correct?
Yeah, I think 4 to 5 wins from inside I don't want to reveal too much about the inside of the organization, but I think 4 to 5, maybe 6 wins is what the team expects. When you have someone like Vienna in the East, it's tough to overcome that, but I think every single other one of those teams in the East is winnable, and I think that outer conference games against Hamburg and the Mercenaries are also realistic, that they can maybe go with 1-1, or maybe they lose to both on 1 and then beat the other 2, but I think it's a very interesting schedule. I think it could provide a lot of opportunities for Prague to stand out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Nick stunk up the joint with this one. This was bad from Nick. 0-6 to start the year. I don't know. I think we kind of planned for him to be there. Of course, we got sick the night before, so it's unfortunate. Would have been good to have a bit of back and forth with them on that. But geez, looking back at it, it was. I think it was the worst set of predictions. But I think he kind of bought into it a little bit to give me an opportunity to explain, which unfortunately we didn't really get. But yeah, I went real good. I'm not gonna lie, I did really, really well. And I said about the Mercenaries were better at that point because they hadn't played a game yet. So I think some people thought they were going to split, but I was all the way in with Prague, man. I think it showed. They went 7-5. had a great season. They got some big wins. They did go 1-1 with the Panthers. They went 1-1 with the Sea Devils. They beat the Mercs in both games. Like, they never looked like they were going to beat the Vikings, which is the next step up. They went 1-1 with the Galaxy. Like, they had a phenomenal year. I know I've said phenomenal about 12 times in this video, but they did have that kind of a year. Like, it was the best turnaround we've seen from a team in the ELF since the Stuttgart surge.
I think it all lies in Javarian Smith. He was in Hamburg last season, did not have a ton of success. He was fine, like he was a bit boom or bust, like he had a few plays where he was really good and fade out a little bit. Hamburg made a very odd decision to move on from him quickly, replace him with Fulford, who was not a very successful player. Prague need Smith to have a chip on his shoulder. They need him to play like he's been disrespected. They need him to play and be a leader and lead Prague Lions, because they've given him an opportunity to be their franchise guy. If Willie Patterson is one of the best receivers in the league, he could provide a lot of explosive opportunities. His receiver depth that we talked about, and his very hyper-aggressive defense, those are the keys. Javarian Smith stay fit, and stay active, and have a chip on his shoulder. His weapons produce for him and his offensive line holds, and then this aggressive defensive backcourt can create a lot of turnovers and a short field for the offense to take advantage of.
Of course, with this team, I was kind of expected to know more. So, like, I'm very happy, don't get me wrong, that I did so well in predicting their season and how they would do and how they would do it. But, of course, I was within the team, so it makes sense I'd have a good grasp on that. So I'm not trying to act like I'm some kind of Nostradamus or anything, but I was very happy with my vision for the team and how I expected it to do and how it did overall and how it did it, you know? I was very happy with that. Unfortunately, you know, I'm not working with them at this point. Yeah, I'm not actually scanning with the team at all. So maybe next season my predictions won't be as solid maybe. But that being said, that was the Prague Lions FIBA recap. Much appreciated to anyone who showed support on these. Just like and share, man. It helps a lot. Do the hype thing in the bottom. It takes 2 seconds. Literally takes 2 seconds. Helps me out a lot. So much appreciated. Thank you to all the members, of course. See you next time. I'm going to do the Panthers next time. I just think of these off the top and I'll do them next time. So see you in a bit. Thank you and